Former Democrat issues stark warning about Biden's policies. We are going to lose this country, she says. Here's a clip.
Now is Georgia State Rep Misha Maynor, who left the Democrat Party earlier this year, and Daniel E. Friends,
good decision, I would
reform
say.
Correspondent. Representative, we've talked before about why you left the Democrat Party, but now seeing how things have gotten even worse just in the past few months, what's your message to those Democrats who are still just complaining about messaging and maybe not getting enough money, like Eric Adams, but not really focusing on the policies themselves that are driving this decline and despair?
It's a very good question.
The answer is to focus on the policies. We cannot continue to put politics over people. At the end of the
politics
day,
over policy.
People are actually
that would have been a better quote.
Saying, we are not happy with this. You are taking our resources away and putting them in places we don't want them. If they would just listen.
I like this woman. If you, this is the first video you've seen from me, I talk about this all the time. Definitely subscribe. You know, shameless plug. My apologies.
To the voters, they could have a chance, but it's what I'm doing right now is going out into my community and really just exposing the truth to them, and they're listening.
That's what all politicians
should be doing.
Daniel,
we've seen African Americans in Chicago express their total outrage about how the migrants are soaking up all this money.
I talk about
$30 million a month, and by some estimation. And you in New York City, where you're living, what are you seeing there, and how do you respond to the concerns about crime and fill and all the other problems that the migrant population had brought to the city? And why is Eric Adams not talking about the border and not just money?
Yeah, it's insane. As a son of legal Haitian immigrants, I am outraged. I've lived in New York City all my life for 19 years. I've wanted better trains, better schooling, but cleaner streets, better policing. Me and all the residents of New York has gotten none of those things. But the moment illegal immigrants come to our city, they get free hotel rooms and they get health care. It's insane. As a writer for campus reform, I can tell you this is happening in cities across America. Universities are even giving illegal immigrants free tuition. It's a slap in the face to my—
How wild is that? And, like, no offense to these immigrants, but they don't even know English. Like, how are you going to give them free college tuition? Like, here, have this, and you can't even understand this stuff where what it's written in. You can't even understand the language it's written in. And then anyone around you can't understand your teachers. But okay, now you're getting free college tuition over Americans that do know English. It's wild. I mean, honestly, these colleges are useless and pathetic anyways. And it's just going to make everyone that goes to them worse anyways. But even still, it's the principle. Sorry about that.
America, who sacrifice a lot for their kids.
Representative, we heard this before, though, before the midterm election, that African Americans and other Americans were very upset by crime, very upset about the border, and really worried about the economy. But there wasn't that much of a shift in the voting patterns among those minority voters. So they seem outraged in polls, but on the turnout and on the vote changes, you're not seeing that much movement. How do you get them to the polls and to finally break with the Democrat Party?
I think opportunities like this, Laura, at the end of the day, you have me on a national platform, and there are going to be African Americans and there are going to be Democrats that are listening to this message. Everything that you just said prior to bringing us on, I sat here laughing because it really makes no sense what you were saying. Like, how did we even get to this spot where we are allowing foolishness to rule our country? And so I'm going to continue to educate the people in my district, people like Daniel, other leaders and other representatives that are changing their minds. We really need to collectively put our voice together, because if we don't, we're going to lose this country faster than you think.
Yeah, and Republicans have to actually go into these areas and go into these neighborhoods and not be afraid to actually speak to people about their concerns
Republicans
and what the
suck, too.
solutions are. That's got to happen.
Yeah, go in
Daniel,
there.
New data from the Survey Center on American Life
Just shows
that,
like with that statement, it just shows how bad Republicans are too. They're like, okay, all these people are so dumb. All they care about is their political career, and that's all they care about. They're not principled at all. A Republican should be going into the inner cities to spread these ideas, even if they know they're not going to win. But the fact that they just avoid it because they're like, oh, I can't win this. What do you think it's going to do in the long term? In the long term, no one even is hearing your ideas. They're not getting the record straight with the internet. It's changing, and people can look this stuff up. But for the longest time, they can't even hear your ideas. So it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. This is why New York's a leftist stronghold. L.A., San Francisco, Chicago. They're all leftist strongholds. Why? Republicans don't go there. All they hear is the Democrats campaigning, fighting each other. They don't get any of the other side's ideas. It is frustrating because now look at where the country's at. You know, it's because you guys, not you, or like these guys didn't step up. These politicians in the past, they want power and that's all they care about. They didn't want to step up for the betterment of the country. That's what I got to say about Donald Trump. Faults and pros, whatever. That's all I got to say about him. He ran to help his country, and people are like, well, he just wanted his legacy to be cemented. I don't care. I don't care. It still worked out for the country. It's like how they're saying Scott Pressler, when he was going and getting garbage off the streets, he went in, was it Baltimore, I think. Well, he did a bunch of cities. But and then the left is on Twitter like, he cleaned up all these cities. It was just for publicity for Trump. I don't care. So what? What's publicity for Biden? He can't even go to Maui and have a speech. I don't care. Hey, if everyone goes and is getting fame by cleaning up cities, that's a bad thing? Absolutely not. People should be doing that. Yeah, go get fame for being awesome people. Even if they're not awesome people and they're doing awesome things, who cares? If Joe Biden was doing a bunch of great stuff, he's an awful person. But if he was doing great stuff for the country and the country was doing amazing, good fuel prices, a good economy, just everything was awesome. We balanced the budget. He took out the deficit. Even though I know he's a bad person, I'm like, well, go him. You could be a bad president and you could be a bad person and be good at your job, right? But the left doesn't see it like that. No. They think that's the opposite. They just think the opposite. Biden, he's a terrible person and terrible at his job, but he agrees with me on policy, allegedly, even though he probably doesn't. But okay, he says he agrees on policy. He's been in politics for 60 years or whatever. Yeah, he just goes. He's like a chameleon. Wherever he thinks he should go to get more power, that's where he's going to go. And that's who these people side with. To me, it's insanity. Yeah, it's just like, go with the people that are going to help you and not the people that are saying they're going to help you, you know? Look at the writing on their walls. Like I was saying in my segment earlier. Like if someone goes and is so impatient that they go and spray paint in black to convince you versus just going to blend it in, you know? I don't know. Honestly, now that I'm saying that, I don't even care. Just go and just see what people are going to do for you. And believe in those people because those are the people who are if you can see they're helping you. Like Trump helped the country. No new wars, do lowered taxes, lowered regulations. I don't care what Biden or any of these people say. What do they say? What do these Democrats say? I'm going to help, I'm going to help, I'm going to help. And then they just make it worse. See the writing on the walls. See it. You can just see it. They're telling you what they're going to do. You know what I mean? But let's finish this clip.
Black Americans, especially younger ones, ages 18 to 49, are souring on Biden And just 36%
And I hope on the
now
left in
believe
general.
he
I
accomplished a
hope.
good or great deal. 21% want him as the 2024 nominee, and less than half, 48%, identify as Democrat. Is the dam finally breaking?
I hope so.
I think the dam is finally breaking. Laura, I am sick of tired of the rhetoric that I do not have agency in this country, and plenty of other
Exactly.
Black Americans believe the same. A big example is affirmative action. I do not want to be told that I need.
I think that's a really fair point. This guy's a black guy. Like, I don't have agency in this country. And then some, like, the biggest superstars of this country are black. You know? Actors, musicians, sports players. But then they don't have any agency? Come on. It's a joke. It's such a joke. And people are starting to realize this stuff. Which good on everyone. You know, I think it's just backfiring on the left. They're stupid.
Some sort of equitable policy to being a great institution. I want to own my accomplishments and my shortcomings in America.
Yeah.
It's great to have you both on tonight. Thank you so much, Representative
Awesome.
Maynard and Daniel.
Hey, Sean. Awesome segment here. Yeah, I think the left is just getting turned on. Everyone's just turning on the left. They're getting everyone to turn on them. Which good on them. The left is not good. They suck. Everything the left is doing. I used to be on the left. I canvassed for Obama in 2008. I was like, okay, Democrats, they want stuff for the people. And then he was saying we wanted transparency and all this stuff. And I was like, versus George Bush. And I was like, we don't want any more wars. I was like, this is awesome. Go Obama. I'm going to go knock on doors for this guy. He is great. And then come 2012, I didn't even vote. I'm like, Mitt Romney sucks. Obama sucks. He didn't do anything he said he was going to do. He went to Libya. He didn't give any transparency. He made Edward Snowden flee the country. It's all stupid. And I think everyone is starting to realize this type of thing. This is what the government does. They're like, we're going to promise you something to get a vote, and they don't do it. People should be like, after a long time, it only took me like 2 years with Obama. But, you know, other people, you know, I get it. They have but for me, I'm just like, no, instantly. But it seems like it's a slow trickle of more and more people realizing this type of stuff, which I think is awesome. They're like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. These people aren't helping me. They're going against me. The migration thing is insane. There's so many immigrants in these cities. Leftists are going left and right, running from the left. There's this woman here in Texas by the border who she just switched from leftist or Democrat to Republican, technically speaking. And then she was saying she's getting ridiculed. She's a Latina woman, and she was getting ridiculed. Oh, no, you're Latina. You should be on the left. I think that notion is breaking. And like the host was just saying here, the dam is about to break. And that's how it is. That slow trickle just becomes so much more, and all the water rushes through. And I think that's been happening for a while, and the cracks keep deepening, and they're not getting repaired. In fact, especially with the immigration crisis and the stuff with kids in schools, they are widening especially faster. So people on the left are just like, I'm done with this. It is crazy because people on the left that are going to the right, they're probably not even on the right. They probably still want UBI. They still probably want welfare. They want Social Security. Half the people on the right want Social Security, which I think is bonkers. But that's how it is. So even people on the right are on the left. And then still people are moving more far right. Because this is how it is. They just get it. It's just like, hey, these policies that the left has championed for years and years and years. I mean, the left was in favor of slavery. That was the Democrats. I was on the left. That was almost 200 years ago. So I think people are starting to wake up to this stuff. The internet is an amazing invention. And people are just like, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I woke up to this stuff and I'm not having it. So I'm going to the right. Even if I'm not even on the right, at least they have some type of decency. Do you know what I mean? Like Jimmy Dore, prominent podcaster, YouTuber, whatever you want to call him. I don't think he's on the right, but at the same time, he's like, hey, I at least can agree with people on the right somewhat. I can have a discussion. They're not going to come burn down my house or some wild stuff like that. They're going to be like, oh, okay, I disagree with you. I disagree with Jimmy Dore politically, on policy, on almost everything. But he's a decent guy. I've seen conversation with him and stuff, and he's a decent guy. Politics aren't everything. Being a decent person is everything. And then with everyone on the left, they lie, they cheat, they steal. Not decent people. And people are starting to wake up to this. And so I think it's just going to backfire on the left. They've pushed too hard, and I think that end is near for them. Will the left go away? Absolutely not. I think the extreme left will go away, and then we can actually have leftists like Jimmy Dore and Russell Brand. That'd be awesome. That's the right and left again. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Like normalcy, at least. And we could disagree on policy. I'm a libertarian, so I just want to get rid of all of it and just have the very, very basics of government. But then we can have that discussion. You have the discussion with the leftists, they're just going to hate you. You're just going to be like, oh, you would vote for Trump. I hate you. And then that's it. No. And that's just what they're going to say. They don't care about anything else. Trump, no. It's derangement. It's derangement. It really is. But I want to get the left back to where it was and just argue about. But we have to get rid of the establishment for that, though. The establishment wants it to go left to right, but they don't really want it to change. Do you think Mitch McConnell is actually for the people? Absolutely not. That's why the guy won't retire. He just won't retire, even though he's all freezing up and all this stuff. He won't retire because he wants the power so he can get those establishment benefits. He's also awful. So it's not necessarily about party, not at all. It's just people moving to the right. I would say libertarianism is on the right, but it's inherently not really. Libertarianism just shares kind of half left, half right. But nowadays, how it is, you just go to the right because everyone's going to the right because look at the left has gone so insane. Normally, libertarians would be like, okay, war on drugs. Okay, no war. I don't know. It's all shifted. Because now the right's all of these people. Everyone that's like libertarian has went to the right. Thank you, Ron Paul. Legend. But you know what I mean? It's just all went so insane that the left, as it is now, just can't exist. It's like how the right became the left because the right were all such more warmongers and people just didn't want it anymore. So, and then the same thing with the war on drugs. The people just didn't want it. So now the right changed. You know? So I hope the left does the same thing. Let's get more RFK Juniors. Let's go get more Jimmy Dores on the left. And all these crazy people, they can go do their own socialist party that won't ever get anywhere. And then at least we can have decent discussions and move this country into the right direction. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe for daily news updates, smash that like button, share this video with your friends, and share your thoughts on the story in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.